Today I'm taking the PONEY MIG 200AM. So we have our MIG gun that has a little rubber pad there on the back. Nice feeling trigger. It does come with our nozzle and our tip pre-installed. And it looks like they included a cap to protect the end, and it does have all of our ports all on one single connector, so I do appreciate that. And it does come with 2 extra tips. Those are both 0.8. We have our power adapter, so this is for plugging into a 120 wall outlet. I do appreciate they did it this way, so if we're going to plug into a wall outlet, this will be what's left over. Sometimes they do it the other way around, so you plug into a 240 and it leaves a 120, and then somebody could come plug their equipment into that and destroy their equipment. So this is the correct way to make an adapter. Comes with 2 more tips. These are both 1.0s as well as another wire feeding wheel. That's cool. So it does come with our TIG torch that does have separate power and gas lines, so you can plug that in independently. And we got our gas right there on the back of the torch. We got a nice grippy texture on there, and we got a sleeve covering everything all the way down. We got our back cap. We got our cups. That is a 4, 5, and a 6. And it even comes with a little shorty back cap. So for our tungsten, looks like we got a 3/32, a 1/16, and a 5/64. And this does come with a fully braided gas line for our MIG gas. And in the bottom we even have our wire brush and chipping hammer. Nice heavy duty cable on there. And there is the welder. So we do have a protective cover on the front. We have our polarity cable coming right out of the front, so if we want to run this in negative or positive, we just plug this in however we want it. Much nicer than having to go into the side panel and do a bunch of nuts and then swap those wires around. I much prefer this style. We got push button dials, change our process, change our material, diameter, and function. And on the side, that's a good idea. Never seen that before, but they actually put our working clamp and our stinger right there on the inside. It goes to show you how much room we actually got in there. And this is the type of stinger I prefer. You can see that is actually a fully molded rod holder on there rather than just a stamped piece of metal. Very nice, and a solid spring on that. And for our working clamp, we do have a braiding going from side to side. So if it's making a better connection on this side than on this side, it doesn't have to worry about that pin or to carry the current to that wire. And because we do have all that room in there, that means that we can actually fit the larger spools of wire in there if we want to. And we've got a switch right there so we can change that from MIG flux to spool gun. So if you want to use a spool gun with that, you can do that there. That'll turn off that motor so that you can use the motor on the spool gun. You also appreciate seeing got a lot of metal components on here. We have a wire feeding wheel pre-installed, and this one is also a 1.0 and a 0.8, and you can see those 2 tracks in there. So if you want to get the full 200 amps, we are going to need to use the 240, but if you just want to use this at a regular household, even if you're just taking this to a work site and they don't have 240 available, it's nice that you can just plug that into a regular household outlet. In the back, we got our on-off switch. We can see that it's rated for 110 or 220. We got our gas in, and we do have active cooling. We have a very nice looking display on there. So we can see that it is reading 110 volts. We got 2T and 4T. We can change that depending on whether we want to press and hold, or press to make it go and press again to make it stop. We got lift TIG, stick, manual MIG, synergistic MIG, and pulse MIG. We've got settings for the different wires. So we got 0.6, 0.8, 0.9, and 1.0. We can change that with that button right there. I'm using 0.8. Now that's nice. We even got a little display right there changing. So that is updating with the wire. Process, synergistic MIG. Basically that just means that it's going to do all the work for us. If we change our amps, really like that dial on there, and that is a nice fast update on there. So we set it to 60 amps. It's automatically going to set that to a voltage that is appropriate. Right here we got Fe, and that is for carbon dioxide. So iron carbon dioxide, iron mixed gas, flux gasless, stainless steel mixed gas, and aluminum argon 100%. And we can change that with this button right here. And as we can see, it updates everything for us. Very cool. Love having a welder that is easy to use. So I got a new roll of Lincoln L56. This is a .035. Out of our 2 wheels, we got a V groove and we got a U groove. We're going to use the V groove, and we're going to use the 1.0. So we'll put that with the 1.0 facing in. This is going to be feeding from the bottom, so we need to make sure it is going counterclockwise. I do appreciate that we got plenty of room in here. Trying to put a large spool like this in a welder, you run into issues where you got to kind of wedge it in, get around things, but with this one, that is not a problem. It's always good to have needle nose pliers when you're doing this. So I'm going to grab the wire, pull it out. Now I'm going to grab it to make sure that it doesn't unspring, and we'll cut off any bends. And we can feed. There we go. and put that in. So we got a little bit of wire coming out here on the end. Drop this down and lock that in. So now we're going to attach our MIG gun. I want to take off the tip just so that I know that we're not going to be interfering with anything. This one's designed for aluminum, so we're not going to be using that. We're just going to be using the core that's already pre-installed. We'll feed the wire into that tube. And it should lock in. And we just thread that guy on. So we're in Synergic MIG. We're on 0.8. I'm going to set that to 0.9 because 0.035 is the same as 0.9 millimeters. I'm going to take the hose. I'm going to straighten that out as far as I can get it. I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to watch in there just to make sure that nothing kinks up. I'm going to use a 1.0 tip. So 1.0 is technically 0.04. We're using 0.035, so it is actually a little bit oversized for this wire, but it will work no problem. You can, if you want to, grab your pliers and tighten that up, but I usually just do that finger tight. There we go. Now I am going to be using gas with this welder, so we are not using flux core, so we're going to be using DC electrode positive. If we were using flux core wire, we use DC electrode negative. So I'm going to plug the welder into the positive, and I'm going to plug the working clamp into the negative. Every welder is different. This one definitely has to get hotter. So I'm going to go from 60 amps up to 80 amps. I also noticed there was a little skipping, so I'm going to crank up my tension just a little bit. All right, that's looking a little better. So you can see that is definitely better, but it's still a little bit cold. Let's go ahead and go even hotter than that. So I'm going to take this all the way up to 100 amps. Yeah, so we are getting there now. I would definitely be happy with that. Let's go ahead and turn it up even more. Okay, we are talking, and there we go. So that is absolutely capable of putting out a beautiful weld. So now, let's say that we ran out of wire, and we just need to run a quick bead. Let's try our stick welder. I am running this DC electrode negative, so we're going to change the process to stick, and I'm going to turn this down to 80 amps. When we hit function on here, we got hot start, so we can turn our hot start amps up. So it's just going to kick up the amp so it'll start up easy. We've got arc force, BRD, we can turn that on or off. So if we're working in a wet environment, we're worried about safety, we can turn that on or off. So we're going to start out just like that, basically with the default settings at 80 amps. And I'm using some Golden Bridge 7018. Wow. So it is running that super hot. Let's go ahead and bring that down to 60 amps right there. Yep, and there we go. So it took me a second to get dialed in there for that guy. But as you can see, that runs a very nice speed for stick welding as well. So yeah, if you're looking for a nice multi-process welder that runs beautiful beads, has the actual size so you can hold a full-size spool of wire, and gives you all the functionality of a professional welder while also having the capacity to run in synergistic mode for somebody that just wants to get in and get it done, that is an excellent welder.